frank about current issues in town. My name is Francis Echinasari, and today's discussion is very interesting. I believe that your life will never be the same. I have here with me some very important guests, but before I introduce them, I want to encourage you to share the link with your family and friends. We are streaming live on YouTube at Precious underscore TV or Precious TV official. And then we're also streaming on Facebook on Precious TV. And so please share the link right now. Let a family member or a friend watch what we're going to discuss this afternoon. I believe that it's going to be so relevant to you and your life will never be the same. Also, in the course of our discussion, if you have comments to make, if you have questions to ask, you can direct them to our WhatsApp line, or you can leave a comment in the comment section. The WhatsApp line is 0203-438-710, Please, let's get interactive today, and I know that your life will be transformed. Your life will never be the same. All right, so this afternoon I have here some friends who are going to help us discuss. First off, we have Kwame Champong. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
And as usual, Lucy. Lucy, you're welcome. Your hairstyle is not easy. Green, are you celebrating Nigeria's independence? Maybe, okay. Well,
Environmentalist.
Okay. And then we have Eko Krenzel.
Yes.
Eko Ben Krenzel.
Thank
and
you.
as usual,
Yeah.
observant.
Aye.
The observant gentleman. Good to see you guys.
It's good to be here again.
So I think that to introduce the topic for today, there's a short video I want us to watch, and I think it summarizes what we're going to be discussing. And so if we have the airport video, guys, let's roll. So if the airport video is ready. Okay. All right. So is the airport video ready?
Younger, you had make dream the youth in abroad. Is it the same thing as you
Jobs.
imagined?
Never
Provide
the same
jobs.
thing like I
I'm
imagined.
going to
I mean, I
Because I've never shared with anyone. There was a
The video says everybody pick in mind they left GH. For those who don't understand Pidgin, everyone is, how do you say pick in mind? Okay, everyone is making a decision to leave GH or to leave Ghana, and so you see multitudes of people packing their stuff at the airport. And so today we are discussing green pastures or a trap. We understand that majority of the people leaving are young people or the youth, and so today we are looking at youth migration or green pastures or a trap. We have some statistics that I think are very interesting, and we got these statistics from City Newsroom, and so these are statistics concerning the rate at which people are leaving Ghana, and I believe what's happening in Ghana is happening elsewhere as well. So it says the 2021 Ghana Population and Housing Census has revealed that the number of Ghanaians leaving the country for other parts of the world for employment is on the rise, with the youth being the dominant group abandoning the country. Statistics from the Thematic Report on Migration 2021 reveal that more than 77% of those leaving the country to seek greener pastures elsewhere fall between the ages of 20 to 49. So these are the people that we're talking about. Now, we have a graph as well that gives us some information. So look at this graph. It says the report further revealed that over 37% of Ghanaian immigrants went to Europe, with 23.7% relocating to the Americas. So you have, so the longest bar you have there is representing those who have left Ghana and they're going to Europe, and then followed by those who have gone to the Americas. So we're talking about the North America, South America, and the Caribbean. You have others who are going to Asia, and so on. So guys, basically what this information is telling us, what the data is telling us, is that many people are leaving the country. Majority of these people are young people. Before we come back into the studio, we went outside to find out from our normal Ghanaians, ordinary Ghanaians, why are people leaving the country? Why do you think people are leaving the country at this rate? We know that immigration, or is it emigration, is not new. People exiting their own countries is not new. But there's a certain rate at which people are leaving. And so we went out to find out why. Let's have a listen to what the ordinary Ghanaian said.
Now that you have moved abroad, and you mentioned
so
that.
If you did Ghana here, the job you do, then they pay you very well. You go still want travel outside, then go do something where like, you don't say Ghana, if you do some works, then they book you like that, like cleaner and things. You go like go outside still, even though the work you do for here they pay you well. You go like go out, then do cleaning, the them things.
No, if I get good payment for here, I no go fit travel outside. I go there here, cause Ghana be sweet.
I would love to travel the world. That's a tricky question. I wouldn't mind working in between, going and coming. But to stay there full time, I'm not sure it's for me.
Because Ghana, many Ghana, I had a woman. The bush for me now, but one of my community was be out. Some would you want to why not?
I would wish to, because they're crown, they are cleaners. Almost salary crap, no. It's far, it might be higher than someone working here, crowd. You're proud of the job, crap. Yeah. Because of their currency,
Okay, so we just heard from the ordinary Ghanaian. These are people living in the country, but we are going to show one last video. Now, these are Ghanaians living outside the country, and they're telling us why they actually left. So if that video is ready, let's roll.
Now that you have moved abroad, and you mentioned that since you were younger, you had this dream of moving abroad. Is it the same thing as you imagined?
Never the same thing like I imagined. To me, I knew that it was going to be me starting all over. It can get very hard, very tough. I think that people really don't share the struggles of relocating and all that, but I never thought it was going to be easy. There are some things that are awesome. There's some things that are just so bad.
Well, for me, coming to Dubai, I'd already been here. I came here on a vacation before I decided to move here. So I already knew certain things, how the system works a little bit, because I also did a lot of research before I came. So I didn't have this picture perfect ideas before coming. I knew that it was going to be a struggle. I knew that I was going to be lonely for a long time. It was basically like starting my life afresh.
Because I have lots of people here, I usually talk to my best friend the whole day. We'll be on phone, video call. He will be walking around, we'll be talking, we'll get to work, put the phone down, we'll be talking. So like, I'm used to the system, and he tells me a lot of things he experienced, like all of those things, you get it. The only culture shock that hits me was, I called this person. This person was doing something, and like, I have to call the person out. So I called the person, I said, hey, can you come out? Like, we need to talk. The person told me, sorry, I can't come out. It's 8 o'clock, sorry. I felt like, no, you can't tell me that, man. In Ghana, you can't really tell somebody I can't come out. What do you mean?
Okay, so we've heard from those living in Ghana and those living outside. Guys, why do you think people are leaving in their droves? Somebody said Ghana is sweet. So if Ghana is so sweet, and please let me mention something, that this is not a political show, and so as much as possible, we are not going to be talking against any political party. Okay, so let's hear you. Why do you think people are leaving in their droves?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, for what we just watched, one thing keeps running through: economic situation. like what they were saying, if they have employment, their wages are good, of course they won't travel outside the country. Reasons why people travel is for better living, and there are other reasons. But for now, let me focus on economic reasons, because of course there are other reasons, health reasons, because education as well. Because in 2010, when I checked the stats, about 13.6 million people enrolled in tertiary education outside abroad, like the whole world. So there are other factors that will lead people to leave the country. But let me narrow that down to Ghana here. It's basically about the economic situation in this country. Things are getting tough for everybody. So people want to go out there to seek that greener pasture, that better living. You are in a country where unemployment is always on the rise, it keep going up and all that. You need to feed yourself, you need to feed your family. It becomes a challenge. So when you sit down, you're like, oh, if I go out there, I'm going to get a better living, a better life. Why do I stay here and go through all this hardship? So the first thing I'll talk about is economic reasons. That's the reason why people are leaving the country from the video that we've seen, and people are just leaving because of economic reasons. So I think I'll end it here for now.
I think I agree with a call because, greatly, if you take a look at the system that we are running in Ghana, it's very difficult for the young person to understand even where the future is going for him as an individual, because basing it on system, because this is not a political talk, we need to understand how the nation runs. The lady who talked about the cleaning job said that the currency outside is way better than the currency here. Why is she saying that? Because today the minimum wage for any person in Ghana is 14 cedis. 14 cedis, 88 pesos. You can do your own multiplication of that figure by even 27 days. Let's take it that an individual works 27 days outside of their off days in a week. It gives you less than 400 cedis. Technically, what that means is that it is legal for an employer to give a young person as low as less than 400 Ghana cedis to work for them. So if that young person is also getting an equally good job outside of the country, they don't care to go to Syria. They don't care to go to Dubai. Even if it will damage their mental health, even if it means they won't see family, even if it means they won't have all the good things we all talk about in Ghana, they will go. They will go because what can even 400 cedis buy you in this present economic situation? If you take a look at the rate of the cedi to the dollar, how it has depreciated from 2016 to 2023, it's about 7 Ghana cedis high. 7 Ghana cedis high. Today the dollar is like 11.30. All right. We are talking about a continent that has over 60% of its population being the youth, basically below 25 years. That's the kind of continent we are dealing with. Yet in somewhere Lampedusa, the Mediterranean island, we are seeing the news on France 24. Just last night, 12,000 people entered Italy in a week. 12,000. And all of these individuals are from West Africa. What does that mean? What's happening in the country? What's happening in the continent? It means that there is poor management of things. So many mismanagement, embezzlement. The youth of today are told that there is no money. Help us cushion the situation we have. Like Eko mentioned, the economic situation is bad. So they tell you, oh, let's all find a way to go through the system. Yet, when you sit back and you listen to the news and you hear certain amounts being used on certain things, what do you think the youth will say? So there is lack of trust from the young people. They don't trust the leaders anymore. They don't trust the system anymore. So even though you're giving them a promise of, hey, it's going to get better, let's all work, let's do what we are supposed to do. Last week, Dr. Mensa Otabil was in Nigeria. He was speaking at a conference. I think it was on shaking or something. And he made a profound statement. He likened it to the issue of Jeremiah in the Bible and how it took about 70 years before Daniel realizing the prophecy of Jeremiah. And he was saying that he may not live to see that day. But he strongly believes that there would come a day where the young people will take over the continent. Why? Because there is too much pain in the young people. Just sit down and think about it. If you want to look at government, you are making a very big mistake. You are thinking that, oh, probably it is that party or that party. This is not a political conversation. Look at a system that is ready to give someone 14 cedis a day for their expertise.
In dollars, that's about less than $40.
Less than $40. And you know in Ghana, yes, a month, 14 Ghana cedis. A day. Oh.
So if a month is 400 cedis, that's less than $40.
So that's like $1.10. That's like $1.10. And you see, this country we live in, statistics show that 3 million people live below the poverty line. Right. 3 million good people live below the what is the poverty line? It's $1.90. $1.90. It means that there are people who live below 40 cedis. Or no, 40 is too high. 20 Ghana cedis a day. They can't, they don't have 20 cedis a day to buy something. So if that young person, what is accounting for the move? That's what we should be asking ourselves.
So you think it's purely economic?
Yes, the system is bad.
So for you, it's a systemic issue and
systemic
then
issue. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Are we all agreeing? Is that the only main reason why?
Well, I think they also have a point saying that it's purely economic, because I've actually had instances where they have been instances where people would go, travel outside the country in the name of going to educate themselves, and they get there and they don't even start. They want to work. So it is purely economic. And yeah, granted, what Smart said, that is actually the bane of the whole issue. And when I saw the airport situation, you haven't seen anything yet. I went to the police station at Nima for this good character form. Oh dear Lord, the queue there is amazing.
What is the good character form?
Because they are traveling abroad, they have to have a good character form,
like a criminal
statement, record from the police to attach to their documents. And I've been there twice, and the numbers are insane. And a whole lot of them are the youth, like Smart said. People come all the way from the north, all the way from Kumasi to come and get it. And I was in a conversation with one gentleman. He said he has done the whole process in Kumasi, and then he went there to get take what's together the forms, and he was told to come to Accra. This is somebody who has gone through the process in Kumasi already. And he was made to come to Accra and start the whole process again. And he did. So that should tell how much there is a strong desire for the youth to work. And unfortunately, these days, gone were the days when you complete secondary school and you have to stay home a year. Within that range, you could be learning some form of apprenticeship or anything. Or it also gives the system the time to be able to release people into the system, get jobs. But people complete SS, and the same year they are continuing to the universities. And so the outflow of the youth that come out every year looking for jobs, private universities have abound. We have other technical ones, the medicine counter people. All these people complete and they want jobs. So the number is huge, and the work that is available, I don't even want to say it's small. It looks like it's non-existent. Now, the worst part is that the youth is being encouraged to become entrepreneurs. Okay, so I won't get a job, but then let me start something with something small. Or even if I don't have anything, if I could put a few things together, let me use it to start something. And the system still finds a way to stifle that kind of little that they are trying to put out there, making it almost impossible for them to get something so minimal. And the thing is that the average Ghanaian isn't looking for affluence. It is just to have the little to pay their bills,
if I eat and I'm satisfied, I'm okay. If I'm able to pay my bills, but the bills are overwhelming. The food and the feeding, it's also another story. And even not to talk of how to move from one place to the other. So everything in the system seems to be working against the youth who has the energy, the youth who exuberance, want to learn, want to exert what they have learned, want to practice. And all this frustration, it looks like, okay, there is nothing more that I can do. So then let me channel all my energy into trying to just get out of the system to a place that will make me, thrive.
And don't you think it's a case of maybe people are simply working hard, but perhaps they are not working smart? And so you have, I know you mentioned the outflows of the influx of people from SHS and things like that. But could it be that, because I know that there's a lot of money in the system. There's a lot of money in Ghana, like Smart was saying. So if people are not getting some of the money in their pocket, could it be that they are only working hard, but they are not working smart? And if people were to be truly entrepreneurial, maybe the case would be different. What do you guys think about
lack
that?
of opportunity is one of the biggest issues in our country. If you take a look at the three main areas that actually steers the affairs of a nation, we have failed as a country in all these three areas. Now I'm not going to mince words. The educational sector, one, because you're looking to empower the people coming up with present knowledge, with new technologies, with innovations, with initiatives, with campaigns that the young people can take advantage of in order to better manage the system. Two, the health and the medicinal sector, where we are thinking that in case we are not well as a nation, the people who are supposed to take care of us, these people would finish school after 6 years and they don't have a job to do. So lack of opportunities. We can talk about the dynamics of the fact that the situation in Greater Accra region is not the same as the Savannah region, because someone who is posted to the Turumu district or Ketekrachi district would refuse to go because of the conditions over there. He would say that I would prefer to be posted to Accra. You understand me? So the lack of opportunity for people to come together actually to serve the very critical sectors that we have in the nation, we don't have it. Then we come to artisans. Today in Ghana, check every architectural building that is going on today. Most of them are from Togo.
Oh yeah.
Most of them are from Togo.
Oh yes.
Why?
Why? They are honest with their job.
They are honest with their job, one. Two, they are good with their job.
Yeah.
Yes. So what that means is that if someone is very good with their expertise, we can actually transport that human resource for capital. So eventually they would come to be a blessing to us. But we have a situation where the educational sector today, you can't tell where it is going. So the young people feel like the opportunity to become a better person in society, to better serve the nation, is not there. Why would they jump on other opportunities that is available for maybe excellent but needy? All right. So there are people who are very good at what they are doing. They are smart in school. They have good grades, but the push is not there. They go to look for a scholarship. All right. And at that secretariat, you are being asked to pay a bribe. So you see the systemic issue I'm discussing. It's very systemic. Though we are saying that people should work smart, someone can develop a business plan, go for a presidential pitch. No matter how good his business plan is, the module is, how it's going to impact lives in various regions, you won't get it because of affiliation.
But aren't you kind of contradicting yourself? Because you just mentioned that people from Togo get the architectural job.
I gave that example because I want us to understand if we are good at something and we can serve other nations with it, people would actually go and return. But the system we have in this particular nation.
But how come in the same system, people from Togo are getting opportunities here and they are working? So the things that the Togolese are doing, why won't the Ghanaians do?
Because the money involved, if they take it back, is much better for them as compared to us living here.
But then again, I also wanted to make a point pertaining to what Smart said in reference to the Togolese. You mentioned working smart. You know, for some reason the youth have been working smart, and their definition of working smart isn't right, because that is why a Ghanaian contractor who is building will prefer a Togolese, handyman, because they won't siphon the things. They would do the, work the way it is supposed to be done. And so, yes, the system, we are all part of a system. The system isn't working right, as in we always lay to the table of the doors and the hem of affairs. But those of us also at the background, in our bid to work smart, we try to cut corners, and then it doesn't help.
Very good point.
Let me come in here. You see, to just add what you just said, even the leaders are cutting the corners.
Yeah, the ones we are learning from.
You see, the bus always stops with them. Okay. Now, if an MP sees a red light and he runs to the red light, what do you want the person next following that vehicle to do?
He has a more important thing to do.
You see, and I agree with Smart. You see, the system is messed up, and it's like there's no conscious effort to I don't know how to put it, to streamline things for the youth, and it's getting very worrying because for me, I have another line of business like a transport business. Not everybody can be in the office. Okay, everybody has his own gift. So some are drivers, some are whatever. Now, if you get to the port, if you see the kind of duties being paid at the port,
I know
it's something else. So, as a transport owner, I want to bring vehicles so that I can employ people to get, so they can also feed their wives and children. I can't do it anymore because the duty there is it's something that you want to talk about. But our leaders they have a way of bringing all those things in a way.
Exactly. That's why I always say that Ghana's problem is Ghana's people. Okay. Reason is, I don't think we bring outsiders to rule us. Okay. So, this is what I think. When you see the leaders doing certain things and people are arguing that they are not getting their bit, just give them the chance and see. The same people would go into power and they will even do
worse. Worse.
So when you take a look at the system, I'm talking about the system.
But we are the system.
It is manipulated. Yes, that's what I'm coming to. We have manipulated the system so much. It affects people's behavior when they get a job. So because you finish school, you have to pay to do internship. You have to pay.
Wait. I didn't get that part.
You don't know people pay to do internship. Oh, okay. It is news to you. I'm coming. You have to pay to do. You have to pay to do internship.
That's if you want
a particular company to work. Yes. Okay, you pay. Then 2, you pay to get the placement. Thirdly, sometimes in certain government sectors, you pay to even get your own salary paid.
Oh, it is true. I mean, now
Great.
it's in almost every.
So let me say, someone who has lived under this particular condition for 15 years. Do you honestly expect them to be very honest with their dealings? They feel like, I'll just land here. They feel like, I have suffered so much.
It's time to reap.
I don't know if you get the point I'm trying to make. So why not also treat you the same?
But even the Bible says seed time and harvest. So it's not time for money to he's actually fulfilling scripture, actually.
But Smart, see, when you talk about the structure, the system, it's about, for me, I see it as the laws of the country. You see, we need to change things, especially with our laws. When Obama was here, what did he tell us? He said we should have a strong institutions. You see, we have so many laws in parliament and they are not working. That's how, you see, when you have the structures there, you can't go to a company and do otherwise because the system or the structures are working.
Yes, that's how come the late former president Jerry John Rawlings told, I think, a BBC reporter, that we can have a very strong system to the point that even the devil cannot get away with certain things. Because the systems are not too strong, everyone likes to circumvent. So if a young person, let's take this scenario, you're young, you finished tertiary, you have been posted to to go and do your national service. Yes, I'm giving you the area so that you know how difficult it is to live there.
Even the pronunciation of the name is difficult.
Charlie, then you get there and you are told, the 24-year-old, the 23-year-old, bring 2 years rent advance before you come and start your. So the system beats you down. So that young person getting 559 is going to cough up 2 years of rent, where maybe even after a year, there is no possibility of he being retained at a particular company he went to work, so he may have to come back. And that young person must find someone new to give his room to, so that he can take the money from the other. So everything just beats you down. But the law, what does the law say? Like Eko was mentioning, what does the law say on housing? Law says that every landlord must take 6 months. That is the law. So where is the enforcement? Because there is no enforcement, there is systemic failure. So this systemic failure, if you really lift up your eyes, you see it in almost every single thing that we do in the country. I was on a sister station last Friday, and they asked me, will I advise any young person to leave the country?
When the opportunity presents itself.
What did I tell them?
What did you say?
I told them that, my brother. Because you see, we talk about stronger systems. So I'm coming back to the behavior. It has manipulated us. The government tries to do an online system for passport registration. All right? It's supposed to be seamless. So that you and I can get our passport in the very quickest way possible. The system is there. Online. But try.
I have tried. I'm still waiting. It's been 2 weeks. And
you would still end up paying someone.
I don't want to. I'm still waiting.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. In order for you to be honest, diligent, and maintain your integrity in this country, it will affect your mental health.
Yeah.
That is the nation we are in.
It is.
Okay. You see. So from what you guys are saying, there's a systemic problem here. Food is an issue. I think you mentioned even cost of feeding is an issue. Basic needs like Maslow's theory of needs, housing, clothing. So housing is a problem, like you said. The cost of accommodation. You have to pay rent 2 years in advance. The educational system. Is a problem. Workplace is a problem. So what is not a problem in this country?
It's
only the grace of God. It's not a problem. Because for that,
no, it's sold.
No,
Ghana, the grace is sold. So that's a problem.
For in certain areas. But at least someone says that God works extra hours to keep Ghanaians safe.
Oh, he does.
Okay, now because of what you mentioned, the grace of God. What I can say is, you guys were quoting Parliament. I think it's just a mindset issue. How we see everything from tangibles to intangibles, how we see physical education to spiritual understanding, everything is the problem. Example, when the Europeans, they wanted they were having issues with farming and what did they built ships and they came to discover us. So what is wrong with us also going to discover opportunities abroad? I don't think the government should make it look weird when they use, because they say, oh, brain drain. Charlie, what is the issue with brain drain? So I think there should be a government policy. Instead of government trying to force and keep us here, it should agree and accept that it cast. So we should rather bring a modern form of slave trade where we are getting rewarded for money instead of cheap labor, because in the past it was free. Now let's do Charlie. West Africa, we have ECOWAS, we have 30,000 welders. Australia, come, your high commissioner we have signed. Every month you are giving us this. GRA is getting. Let's understand that the way it has do, no, we can't and the way it is, no. Slave trade,
is that not really a recipe for disaster?
And even
no, because you see,
let me land. I've been observing. You see, I don't want to. It sounds racist, but it's like what the Westerners did was, Charlie, we have cotton farms. We need. We don't have gold. We don't. They deliberately said, let's go and go and get them.
No, but
how so? I'm coming. We don't have we have the grace of God, but for some reason we are not getting good leaders. The truth is that we might not be getting good leaders until Jeremiah turns 70 years.
70 years.
So until then, let's accept that for now, no, your leaders, someone here ready. Me, you. Let's accept that nobody is coming to save us. Let's go to government. Do a modern slave trade plan for us. That this time is not going to be free. Me per Canada. Me to make Bolaka. Me to me Apra. So that when I am going, there's a government backing. There's some like government entourage. Then it's like
so you are transporting human resources.
Yeah. So instead of fighting what they are calling
brain drain
and making it look like they can do something when we stay here. Let's accept the enquiry. So now modern slave trade, by this time, so let's go back to slave trade, but this time with coins.
But so conceptually, I think it's an interesting idea, but I think in practical terms it would be a problem.
It was
because
how
even now that
recruitment agency.
Hold on, now that even in a free state, even now that we are free, we are suffering. Are you sure if we were to sell our labor? I'm guessing that's what you're saying. Are you sure if we were to sell our labor, that money will even enter our pocket?
Thank you. That is the point I wanted to make.
It's one of the biggest things you must look at.
In theory,
no. It doesn't work like that. You see,
who even agree to it?
Why won't it work?
I would want to do it myself.
I can drive a car.
I'm coming on.
Then maybe a Zoom line in Australia has agreed that 3,000 car drivers are coming from Ghana.
Let me show you
accommodation.
A friend who is at the airport said that in 2018, 7,300 people left the country. 2018, and in 2019, because of year of return, 13,367 people entered Ghana for purposes of year of return. Now, after year of return in 2021, we had about 5,572 people leaving the country. Now, listen to this. In 2022 alone, this Ghana airport statistics, 66,231 people left Ghana.
Good news.
I'm coming.
Okay.
Then, in 2023, just by July, we have not ended. 49,421 people have left this country.
And what's wrong?
The point I'm trying to make to you is
according to official statistics.
Yes, but what's wrong about it?
No, I'm building a point to the thing you raised.
My modern slave trade.
Yeah, modern slave trade. There is no window for training of resource, really.
Yeah.
Because the people that the nation or the government must train are already leaving. Mind you, I mentioned that 60% of Africa's population is made up of the youth, people below 25. And these are people, if you take a look at the housing population census, some of them are under the dependency ratio. They depend on their parents, they depend on them. Now, these people are at the stage where they should build a skill, build a certain expertise to get to the fruition where they can be harvested to another nation. So like they do in India, they build people in the IT sector so that when they are off, they are very marketable to Australia, to America, to Canada. You can export these services. But in this situation, at the very young age, they are living. So what basis
who are the people you are going to train?
But the 14 cities you mentioned, if he or she goes and he's going to get $14 instead of 14 cities, Ghana has gained.
But
Ghana's
I hope my.
No.
Do you understand my policy?
That traveling has no backing. One. Then secondly,
no, it's bilateral.
So what
government of Ghana goes to see Canada? They have 3,000 cars. You see, it sounds silly, but
don't.
No, it doesn't sound silly.
You are getting the argument wrong. White people, Lucy.
No, you first of all not told me why my policy is wrong. My modern slave trade.
No. So
why is it not a good solution?
I'm saying that the young people, the people we have to export because
get to be trained.
Even in Ghana, we are not known for one thing.
You know what? Not to cut you. I just remembered a comment that evangelist Srunyami said. I don't know if you've seen that clip.
I don't know if
he said Ghana, the only thing that when God looks down at Ghana, the only thing God will commend us for is finding out, inventing, or something. See, Ghana, the Akrantie Bini.
I am quiet.
The only thing that Ghana is known for.
That's the only human resource we can export.
But make your point.
You get me? All I'm saying is that we should be known for something. Okay, one, known for something.
Cleaning.
That's in the whole of Ghana.
We can clean.
You don't want us to engage in a real conversation.
You don't get me. Most people, ask your uncles who went to Munich
and
in their back. What were they doing? It was cleaning. You don't need a lot of skills to clean.
In order for a nation to benefit fully from a particular expertise, they should be guaranteed that after every year
there is a certain
flow.
bat that is
going.
coming through.
But
to
I understand what.
Yes,
No,
he's not
but-
allowing me to even explore the policy properly. I
Apostle,
got my
no,
modern
wait,
slavery
your
policy.
no,
Mama,
wait,
me,
your policy. I want to even let you know that this policy was mentioned, I think, a couple of years ago by this very current government, because when it was burdened with the volumes of unemployment, I think around the time when they started this thing that they did till last year, the youth employment thing.
Agency.
Thank you, the NAPCO. And around that time when they were mobilizing, they were trying to put them together. I remember vividly. You said this is not a political thing.
It was John Boyd who said it.
No, it was even the president that it will get to a point
where
they
we'll
want to transport skills. Yes, skills outside, and that was about 2-3 years ago. So, like you said, it is something that people may have thought of it, but even how to begin it has been an issue because it's been years.
So like I mentioned earlier, conceptually, I think you have a point. But in practice, I feel the implementation will be an issue.
How? The workforce would be.
So the reason I say you have a point is when you look at countries like or nationalities like the Filipinos, they are known for being nannies.
Yes.
They are known for
nurses.
cleaning.
Yes.
Nurses. And I don't think they went through
any
official training in that sense. But as their people left the country, they were known for some of these skills and they were willing to work. So in that sense, I think Kwame has a point.
So bilateral
but agreement. But like I'm saying, if while we are free, the money is not entering, do you think it is when the government is negotiating
involved?
On behalf?
Don't we do bilateral relations? Don't we go for loans? Okay, gold for oil. What was it about? I give you gold, you give me oil. This time, go boys for money. I give you cleaners, you give me. Guys, I don't know. No, somebody should actually tell me in 30 seconds why it's a bad idea.
It is not a bad idea.
Why is it not implementable?
But the loophole in the ideas
is what?
When you have immoral, for lack of a better word, let me say leaders.
We have them already.
I'm not saying our leaders are immoral, but
say what you don't want to say.
I'm not saying, but where you have immoral leaders who are the ones negotiating, you have a problem.
Yes.
So you think the Canadian Minister of Labour will sit down and we have signed 3,000 Bolaka drivers, and then you watch that they'll be cheated?
We would always find.
Let's not even go there.
Thank you.
I'm trying not to tell the story.
Nobody's come to save us.
In some African countries where there were allocations made for COVID-19.
Yesterday, did you read the news carefully about what was trending in the country?
Occupy BOG?
Not the Occupy. I'm talking about the contracts that were flying around. Sometimes I try not to be too.
Oh, right.
I think
let's not go there. Yeah, we are right.
So my policy is a bad idea.
No, it isn't. Even the travel agencies, even the private agencies. No.
Why would it
even the private agencies are swindling people of their money. The people that they carry there.
Your problem is the swindling, but not the fact that if we want to work at it, it will get better.
But it will be the same system that will still make the workforce.
So why are people traveling on their own?
It will be the same cycle.
They are paying $7,000 to go to Canada,
and they are going.
Okay, so if government says, okay, instead of 7,000, bring 3,500 because of bilateral. We are going to, if it's $180 to get a visa fee, whatever, because it's bilateral, whatever. There's a subsidy of 100, like 85 is 100. So let government facilitate we to Boga, and then we'll pay back government some money.
They will find a way.
See, there's a fundamental problem. You see,
which is
our leaders are giving us a lot of.
They are self-seeking.
Exactly. See.
The leaders of some African countries.
They travel. sometimes when I travel
disassociate.
I meet them in the Americas and all the countries. You meet them. They learn, even the commodities, what they learn there, they can't even implement some. Even in this country. Look at our hospitals. Today, 21st century, our mothers and our sisters are sleeping on floor with their fresh babies. Meanwhile, they travel out there. The last time I was in the US, Japan, they were there. I'm sorry to mention it. We were there to seek medical attention. Unfortunately, we can't do it. We can't do it. It's a political show, but at least you have to come in. So the problem is with the leaders.
The very people that will see through
the system. It won't work until we come in. You know the purpose of NAPCO.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, some way, somehow, it was an initiative that was instituted to come support the young people. And we had the Youth Employment Agency,
also trying to gather some business plans of young people to see how best we can give them capital. We've heard about the presidential pitch and all that.
Yeah.
Take some time. Because I don't want it to look like you and I are going about certain issues all around. Take some time and read through the reasons why all these brilliant initiatives that were started by governments failed.
Yeah.
The real reasons behind them. The youth are not lazy. And I'm glad you mentioned that they can even export us.
They should.
The youth are not lazy. But you see, like a convention, there are various reasons why people are traveling.
Yeah.
Okay. People are traveling, some for education, some to escape the poverty line, like the lady mentioned in the video. Like, you know, some for medical reasons. And some people feel like the policy does not include the youth. So they don't even see the youth when they are reading the State of the Nation's address. There is no allocation or whatsoever. You can listen to the State of the Nation's address fully and not hear a part where they will say, the youth in the next 10 years, this is what the nation wants to do. Some people travel, they go to Dubai and they love it because Dubai has planned in their minds that, okay, looking at the oil we have, by this year it will be finished. So we are going to take all the proceeds and invest in tourism. And it is this tourism that would eventually feed the nation.
Yeah.
Okay? Tell me, when last did you hear about the Ghana National Plan Committee, the GNPC, sitting down to tell you that the document will be developed, the white paper will be on the shelf? Okay? So we are saying that, though it is a good plan, who are going to be the implementers of that particular plan?
And I'm saying because it's bilateral, there are international
So
parties
you
who
think
will
because our
ensure.
international parties are there, they'll make sure that
for example,
the IMF we visit all the time. There are certain conditions we are supposed to meet.
Don't we?
Do we?
Debt exchange and these things
Do we meet the conditionalities?
We are forced to because we want the money. So now, you see, Apostle, my problem is that with the youth, let's agree that we have parents at home who can feed us, can give us school fees. There's a rich man in the area, or someone to stay with for them to watch their cars. Our parents should give us for adoption. So that guess what? When I watch a car, I'll get 3 square meals. If their kids have DSTV, maybe my boys got out. So at the end of the day, me staying in my parents' house and trying to enjoy parental legitimacy, I will not get DSTV. I will not get 3 square. But if I go for adoption, as humiliating as it sounds, as money slave as it sounds, it will serve the purpose because when I go abroad and I'm driving a Bola car, I'm going to get $14. In Ghana, I'll get 14 cedis. So what is so difficult about doing a bilateral deal with the Canadian government to get 3,000 Bola car drivers to go? I don't understand where you put are saying it can't work.
It's difficult.
Yes.
And nobody is saying it can't
Our parents
work.
can't take care of us. Let's go for adoption. Let's tell the international community.
Why won't they? Try.
Why won't they?
For a nation to succeed, it's a deliberate attempt.
So you want the whole nation to?
No, there should be like a bugger plan. A bugger plan. That when you're a welder,
I want to understand.
For example,
yes.
there's a center.
Okay.
Ghana Burger Center, whatever. Okay. I am a welder. When I weld in Ghana, I'll get 14 cedis a day, which is legal. When I go to Australia, I'll get $14
an hour.
So therefore, I am better off going to Australia. So Ghana government or GRA or whoever will say, okay, out of the 14, I'll take $4. You take $10. So if we export 10,000 welders, government is getting $4 times 10,000 per worker.
So essentially, the conclusion of what you're saying?
Say your parents want to make sure, so they should give us for adoption.
Essentially, what you're saying is that we should exit Ghana. So Ghana.
No, those who
so
can.
Ghana should be emptied.
No. No, don't forget. No. It will be a criteria, obviously.
These 10,000 welders you are talking about, once they leave, who will do the welding jobs in Ghana?
That is where. So guess what? It's going to be demand and supply because there's going to be less supply of orders. Demand So some might stay because, for example, if we have 10,000 and 7,000 and they are only 3,000. When Burger 1 is you finish Burger 1's one, the next day no Burger 2 is because there are none. So your value will go instead of 14, they'll give you 28.
So this is where the problem is. When you put into the minds of people that there is a certain expertise or there is a certain resource we are looking for, and so every single person must toe that line. Okay.
No, if you have that skill,
if you have
Canada
that,
government
if you
will
have that-
facilitate for you to go back.
So when the demand is on it, people begin to learn it more. It is natural. It's a natural phenomenon.
So it becomes
So
over.
today, yes, people, you will have a running over. Today, the people who are in big IT in India, some of them are doing unscrupulous things. Okay, because the demand came, they served the nations, and now they don't have enough opportunities again to swallow the rest. It's an issue of
explain that, but I'm confused. The demand came, maybe the Western world demanded
yes,
IT.
so
guys.
you are transporting 1,000 people to do welding job.
Yes.
Every year you transport
Yes.
1,000.
Yeah.
Then next year, all of a sudden, 60,000 people have gone to learn welding in Ghana.
Yeah, because that is what.
And now there's no basket to contain
No,
them.
if the Canadian government can only absorb 1,000, you have 59. You have you just 60,000. went to
If
there.
you hear that a certain job is being paid well, what would you do?
You go
will
and
learn it.
And that is practically
That is
what
what is-
people
yeah,
usually do.
that's what
Even
is
going
so
to
they
the
are
schools
coding
and
absorb by
universities.
demand.
Yeah.
You see, guys, I'm tired of people complaining. So if our parents can't, they should send us for adoption. Our leaders, they should send us for anything.
Our
People who
parents,
fight for
our
adoption.
parents do
No,
not
being
know.
sharing.
They do not know where to
I
send
don't
us
understand why
to.
Echo is saying they won't do that.
They
are getting their $4 on my
They do
$14
not
an
know where
hour.
to send us to.
Yes, you see.
Oh, if you
put
a page out there, they will nurses UK.
Anytime.
Apostle Honor, the moment we 5 now won't tell me why is a bad idea. Up to now, nobody has told me why it's a bad idea.
Nobody
that
said
GRA
it's
will
a
get
bad idea.
The leaders cannot even do it.
Why?
The only thing is that
They will get $4 on my $14 an hour.
Like you said, you see, there's no debate attempt even for the youth. I don't mean that they don't even think about the youth. When they are doing their plan, youth in Yanka.
It's youth, Yanka, so okay, say, Monfa and for adoption. It's our new way. Oh, sorry. Take us for adoption. Let's tell the UK government that Ghanaian parents can't take care of us. We can come and clean, walk your
so
dogs.
our Ghanaian parents can't take us there. They don't have.
No. I'm using Ghanaian parents as our leaders.
I
You
know,
have been bashing,
I know what you are.
NPP and NDC for the past 30 years have shown they cannot give us what we, the current generation, we aspire. So they should give us for adoption. And you say they will not do it. Why? They are getting $4 an hour on my $14 anyway.
Whatever happens, the government has to come in play. And I'm saying these people do not even do it in the first place.
Why?
Don't do it.
Why won't they? They are getting because I say when I get $14, government gets $4 off my $14.
Okay, so what about
So there's financial reward.
What about the probability that they will still send you to people are given out for adoption to go and stay with people and they end up stealing from them and all that. So they will also think of the repercussion of giving us
at least that one I've left.
I think we are going far.
Okay. So modern slave policy. We'll discuss that.
So guys, we are discussing.
It doesn't serve their interest.
We are discussing green
$4.
pastures or trap, youth migration. We're talking about how many of the young people in Africa and particularly in Ghana are leaving the country. Some comments have come in already, and please, we encourage you to send in your comments. Walanyo from Accra, he says the only things working faithfully in Ghana is day and night. Even if it should be controlled by human beings, it will still be manipulated.
Yeah.
So that's your answer. Okay. Adra from Takwa says, good afternoon. This topic is a serious one and attention has to be really given to it. Can you imagine that many nurses and young professionals are moving out of the country? What then will be the future of the nation? And it's not really their fault because a friend has completed nursing training about 5 years ago and has not even been posted. So if she gets an opportunity to travel outside, why won't she hurriedly go? So my question to you, this is a more personal question. Would you leave the country if you had the opportunity?
Yeah, I would. I would.
But also, I like to also, you made a comment about it being a trap or greener pastures. So the thing is that our desire in a low income, environment or continent for greener pastures, it's also serving as a trap for those that could afford us the things we look for. In the sense that these days, a lot of people are traveling. I think quite recently, we got a lot of videos on Facebook, people being stranded. They were asked, they have traveled, they didn't go with much, and now accommodation and what to eat is a problem. So yes, these days I'm even informed that when you go to the Canadian embassy, the number of years you have on your passport is what they will give you. So if it is 10 years, you get 10 years, you're good to go. And they are using it to whisk. So our desire for greener pastures has in a way become a trap, because then they, knowing our numbers are great, we don't have the work, though we have the workforce. They have opened the way for us to. I think for the want of a better word, I want to use the trap to entrap us into their system to get us working to get their
to build their nation.
Thank you.
Yeah. And that is the point.
And that's the cycle.
That's the point, Kwame. No, but Kwame, that's
when we win,
the conversation. The conversation we want to have is that if we have the workforce that can work adequately in a different country, why are we not taking advantage of the same workforce?
Because our economy is not expanded to absorb them at the moment.
Who expands an economy?
So you don't get me. That's why I use the adoption way. Your parents can't give you 3 square meals. There's a burger in the area. He wants someone to watch their car, walk their dog, cook for them, and he'll give you 3 square. Why won't my parent take me there? And so that he knows at least his child is eating 3 square meals. That's my problem. Why can't we do that?
Your idea is that you have localized the plan that you want to do. We are looking at it on a national scale, Kwame.
He is also.
You are thinking that it's when people place a demand on a certain expertise or they want to export a certain resource, they don't deal with small numbers, and these kind of contracts they come in droves.
Okay,
you understand?
Everybody who has done free SHS can clean abroad. So let's look at the numbers. They are in the millions. You can't get them jobs in Ghana. They have to mess around, prostitute. Why can't we?
Are you just interested in just exporting?
No, I'm saying that they are
making
better
sure
off.
That we have quality cleaners.
We don't need the quality.
We do because I'm coming.
You can't clean.
I'm coming.
Oh wait.
We need the quality.
When we're in boarding houses, we were scrubbing our toilets for free anyway.
You won't let me land. I'm saying that you should be concerned about the quality because it is the quality that sustains the contract. If you keep exporting garbage in, garbage out, the people will not renew.
So there'll be a criteria.
Exactly. How do we maintain that criteria?
And he's saying that
minimum SHS because you are teachable.
Do you know how many cleaners are cleaning offices that are not cleaning it well? That you have to get to the office and re-clean what has been cleaned.
So that one is a quality issue. It's not an availability of personal issue. You see, our parents can't give us
abundance doesn't mean quality.
Yeah.
Abundance doesn't.
So there's a criteria.
Everyone who has finished SH
can be trained to clean. Because we're scrubbing our SS toilets for free anyway. When our administrators are supposed to pay cleaners to clean, we're doing it for free anyway. So why can't I be paid $14 to do what I was doing for free anyway?
The bigger question was, why are people leaving?
Greener pastures. It's existential.
Good.
It's nature. It's nature.
What is greener pasture?
Better living. We are aspirational beings.
So now we are breaking it down to what you
White
need to
people
understand.
also move for better living.
Precisely.
They came in the past.
Precisely. Now
which we are going in the present.
Now
What's the problem? You don't get it. The white people came here because they needed certain things. We are also going because we need. Then it's like ours that they are making like brain drain. We are being. It's human nature.
And I'm saying that there is a plan to these things. When they go, do they return to go and build their nations?
Oh yeah.
But we remit monies. Look at all the houses in Nigeria. No, it's burger money.
It's burger money.
Yes. My uncles, they didn't know English. They didn't know Germany. They went to clean. Now they have houses. I have finished university. Where's my house? At the end of the day, you get where I'm coming from.
In social science, putting up buildings alone does not mean you are developing.
Yeah. But
no, I'm coming to explain something to you. No.
Remittance
you are getting a lot of things wrong, Kwame.
See, the basic is money.
In Accra today, how many high-rise buildings do you see? How does it reflect in the livelihood of the people?
You are talking about hybrid. Those can be multinational.
No, you are talking about people
getting properties. Uncle J, who went to Toulouse, Okotintos. He has brought money and he has built a house.
Development is not you building a house.
No, there are sectorial benefits. And I'm saying just for housing alone. If 1,000 illiterate Ghanaians go to Italy to go and pluck tomatoes, and they come and build houses, they are better off than they being in Ghana, doing sheshmami, sleeping in people's kiosks, raping our girls, drinking akpeteshi and dummy under the trees. So I'm saying that in the first place, they're going outside to get more than 14 cities. It's a win for us anyway. So the government, whether in this area, they are pretending that when we stay, they can do something. They will bring NIP, NYIP, MPP, LAPD, all the police departments. It's not working. So let's go, Angela Merkel. Hey, Joe Biden, we are up for adoption. Come and adopt us. We'll clean for you. Because we are cleaning for our parents for free. They don't even pay our school fees.
You have a point. But I also...
I wanted Kwame to understand that. Kwame, you see, the fact that somebody sends money home for a home to be built for them, You can use even the area Kwewu as an example.
My hometown,
yes.
by the way.
You know there are a lot of empty homes there.
Yes.
Because the houses are just built.
Yeah.
That is
but
why...
they are assets.
Assets.
Yes.
Who is benefiting in livelihood from there? Family members will take care of the home. When that person returns for Christmas festives or festive season, and he comes to stay for a week, a month, and he leaves. And don't forget, there is something called a black tax. The black tax is when one person is doing so well in the family, and every single person turns their eye to that particular person.
So let's increase the pool where we get a black tax from.
No, you can't always do that, because you see, you cannot only in any family allow only one person to prosper, and every single person tends to depend on that person.
So let's increase the dependency ratio.
No,
that's what he's saying. Yes, let's make more of us go to Germany.
He's saying all those who are struggling will be better off
if they are made to go
working outside.
So they'll remit more. So if we are getting $1 billion every year, if we take 10 of us, every household, Ajete, Lamte, Sesu, everybody bring 10 of your uncles. Where they are here, they are just station masters and they are just useless here. They go, yes, some are, not all. they should go. So now instead of $1 billion, they're going to get $10 billion as remittance. Because I'm not Ghana, I'm not yet then. Tell me, what are they doing?
Then again, but you are not.
This is free resource. Human resource. Who are just they're wasting.
You are not answering the fundamentals.
Which is what? Deficit.
When the people remit this money.
Yes.
Which livelihood are the people living in Ghana here?
Some remit for school fees. Some remit for funerals.
And I'm saying the system you are sending the money to is bad. So at the end of the day, you would need to send more.
So send more of a fork. You are saying that we are bringing into an empty basket. Like, we are fetching water into a basket.
Yes, someone is working so hard. And at first, he used to send maybe $200 to the family. It could take care of them for a month. But now, when he sends $200, by Friday, they are
okay, so we should fix the economy so that when he even send $200, there will be enough.
I want to.
Okay, now let's work and chew gum. Let's work and chew gum. Whilst we try to fix so that the $200 will be enough, let's also increase it to $1 million so that when we get it fixed, you see, I think the problem is that everybody is complaining. Me, I'm talking about practical.
Yes.
We have 10 uncles sending $10. If we have 100 uncles, we'll get 100. Now I sound like a guy. Uncles. $100. Oh, those who know, they know, and they will not be offended. Now we are going to get $100. Now, what we are going to do is that the workers can say, oh, because we get $100, it gets swallowed in the economy. So then let's start GRA. Come and account for this. You come and account for, but the thing embampo in the first place. Or you are saying it counts, but we are still not
saying that. How sure are you that all these remittances
that we I want to say something in connection. You know, I didn't get his name, but he did mention that they will not do it. I think, as Apostle always says, some African countries, some leaders in some African countries actually want the youth depending on them.
It's human nature. It's not just African.
Right, but I'm in Africa, so that's what I can talk about. Because your policy that you
my modern slavery
policy, yes. Granted, it's a great thing. Of course, because government will get something out of it. It will serve them their purpose. But I think that giving that economic freedom to the youth won't serve them their purposes. And so, and that is where we keep on talking.
If I'm in Canada, I'm cleaning for $14. Why won't it serve my economic purpose? Because I want you guys to point the holes from it. I don't want some emotional. Ghana.
I said giving us out for adoption won't serve some leaders in some African countries their purposes. Because then it gives us that we are being given out for adoption, that economic freedom, where we will not depend on them and be, we will be able to rise up. And we are young, and so we are youth. We know what we want. We know what we want to experience, enjoy in our system. And so we may eventually come apart, and then we will be fighting them, not fighting them as a battle, but fighting them in order to get what is right.
So then why shouldn't we push my modern slavery policy from what she's saying? Yeah, my modern slavery policy is a good idea.
I think this is speculation, so we can't really work on it. But I think in some way what you're saying is I think I'm seeing balance between what you're saying and what the rest of us are saying. That on the one hand, we should be working towards fixing the country.
Yes.
And then on the other hand, we should also be exploring what the Philippines and other countries have also done, where they are unskilled, informal labor, you know, can be, let me not say exploited, or can be explored. Okay, for the benefit of the country and for the benefit of the citizenry. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I think that's what we're saying. I think it's a fantastic.
But you see,
idea.
what also we need to understand is that money.
No, what you want us to understand. Okay.
So
sorry for the cheat.
You want to go into modern day
Are you
slavery.
adding to this?
I'm adding a point to what Kwame mentioned. We must be very concerned about who is in the helm of affairs. It is one thing we cannot leave out. Everything has to be managed, regardless of how good a contract is. Someone needs to manage it. Okay, and at the end of the day, that $4 that is being deducted
an hour,
from my salary in Canada or in Australia somewhere, and bringing it back to Ghana to the government, we must ensure that that particular fund coming into the nation is prudently managed.
Okay.
So the argument is that though we are ready to go and do the work you are proposing, we don't trust. That is the argument. We don't trust that the $4 being deducted in Australia, Canada. If you listen to my earlier premise, I based all my argument on the fact that the youth of today, what they are seeing, what they are experiencing, what the situation of the country, we have lost trust. Okay, so I am willing to go to Australia to go and do plumbing. But how sure am I that $4 would go into the training of the next group of young people?
But at least you are getting your $10.
No,
so that is what your first problem solved.
No, okay.
Let's give it for adoption. At least minimum. So Meba Kojonsia, he eats 3 times a day in the burger's house. That is first problem solved. Okay. Because if I was in my parents' house,
but I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you.
Yes, I also want to say something.
Before Apostle comes in, I'm going to tell you that if you are in a nation and you are only concerned about yourself, you are wrong.
And that is
But I think what he's saying, ultimately it affects everybody in the family. Because if while you're staying here,
you're getting 14 cities. When you
go
there, you're getting $14.
Your feeding is a problem.
And it affects your Christianity that our pastors are struggling to do. Yeah, because of poverty, now we can't be proper Christians. It's as if apostles them are not doing any job. He
makes a very good point, because you see, I was in Rwanda very recently. Yeah, and over there, the systems are working.
Good.
The systems are working. So, I mean, when I was preaching, I was wondering, are there, you know, in Ghana, I can preach about certain things. But when I was there, I was wondering, apart from fornication, what else? Everything is on point. Yes. Everything is on point. So, there are certain crimes that probably we wouldn't even be concerned about if things were working. So I think what Kwame is saying, he has some substance in what he's saying.
So fight to collect try to account for your $4. Don't fight your $14 in the first.
Now my concern would be this. Don't you think that we are focusing only on the economic benefit that people would receive, and we are not looking at other aspects of people immigrating or emigrating? So there are people who think that they will find greener pastures outside. But surprisingly, there's poverty outside as well.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, I was reading some statistics. They said 1 in 4 Europeans experience at least one form of poverty. They said forms of poverty include severe material deprivation, very low-key intensity. There are people who are going through in-work poverty, which means they are working, but they are poor. Yeah. They said the poverty line is the minimum level of income needed to secure the necessities of life and differs greatly for each European country. An average of 9.8% of people in the EU live below the poverty line. Yeah. I can go on and on. But the reality is that there is poverty in Africa and there's poverty in Europe as well.
Also, let me say something. If you live in Europe and you want to be poor, then one of us will be poor. I'm telling you, because I've been there and I know. Of course, there are poor guys in America, and this for me, I think it's. I mean, we move here to go. And, there's a lot of work in America or in Europe or whatever you want to say. So if you live there and you are poor, I mean, then for me, I think you see, it's your problem. The structures are working. If you want to work, you get a job to do. But in Ghana, you won't get the work to do in the first place. That's why we are all migrating. But so if you live in America, we are getting poor. That means deliberate, because in America they have a system. They have how do you call it? Food stamp. We have something called food stamp. You can enter into a shop with your food stamp. The government, you eat. If you want to eat, you eat. You understand? Exactly. So it's like what I want to tell my brother is that Kwame, let's fix the country. You see, our leaders
Here
need
we
to
go again.
Yes, we need to fix the country.
Let him finish.
Let's fix the country, because it's like I don't know how to say it. If you say we should move there and we should I don't know, we should
go for adoption.
Okay. I mean, why don't you fix our own country and stay here?
My mother said he won't ensure for me to have 3 square meals until I fix my mother. I can go and get it in the burger's house by washing his car every morning and I'll eat. Why shouldn't I go?
Your leaders don't think about you.
So I'm going to the burger's house.
Let the lady speak.
I want to say something, because initially when we mentioned that the system would the trust issues, he says after all, at the end of the day you are getting your $10, so that works for you. But you see, you forget that the same people getting their $10 will come down, and what they think and assume their money is coming down to do, it is not being done, and they complain. They come down here for visitation, they fall sick, and everything.
They sleep in darkness and all that.
Some of them are in a hurry to go back.
They fall sick. They can't get water. The tap is not flowing. The light. These are basic needs. And yes, granted, they were selfish enough, excuse my French, to think that once I'm getting my $10 is enough. But we forget that we will still come back. And coming back, what actually needs to be fixed and addressed is still as it is, and it's unchanging.
But if 1 million people bugger, we have 1 million people
they come back?
Neighbor, they come by choice.
Don't you hear them complain?
They come by choice.
Okay.
I think we've moved. We've already established.
No, they keep punching my police. My money is
okay. It's okay. We've already established that we must fix. African countries.
So there are poor people in Europe.
Yeah, poor people.
Yeah.
That one is scripture.
The Bible says the poor will always.
Yeah, so that one is scripture.
So we're saying that people are quick to move out for economic reasons, but sometimes they are not aware that there is poverty where they are going as well. Okay. For me, another thing that I think people should be aware of is that, I mean, are you willing to forfeit your dignity, your human dignity, just for economic benefit? So I say that because there are people I know who maybe when they were in Ghana or in Africa, they were doctors, they were engineers, they were very dignified people. But then they go to someone's country, they were kings in their homeland, but they are slaves in another man's country. Even though they are getting the $14, like you're saying, and the $14 is almost 200 cedis here. Is it worth losing your dignity because of money? Or do you think that as long as I'm able to eat, I'm able to build my house, it doesn't matter how?
No, it doesn't. Also, because you see, when people are in the nation and they used to be, engineers or doctors, and now they need to leave the country and go somewhere else, and they are making more than they were making in the country. That's how they see it. They think that money over there, they can pay their bills, everything works, and they can still get some money to send back to family, for family to also eat. But when they are in Ghana, the difficult part is you are making the money. You are expecting to get home and the light should be on. But the light is not on. The road you are using to your home is bad.
To give you back problems.
And on top of that, you need to go to the mechanic every week. And you see, I was out of town last week. I was doing an outreach program in Akemodan. There was the main connecting road from Isamankese to Akemodan. Because there were rains the previous day, the road was not motorable. To the point where one truck tried using that road and broke down. And it broke down in a way that it broke down this way. So it has crossed. And everyone was being directed to use an alternate route. And this alternate route, if you are being attacked on that route, nobody can come and save you. A trip that should have taken us less than 30 minutes from Isamankese into Akemodan took us 1 hour 15 minutes. to now go all the way back to Akemodan and go and use that route. So I'm saying that when people make money in a certain nation and the basic necessities are not working, it frustrates them. And when you are desperate, you do desperate things. So someone doesn't care. How is it that somebody can keep just a bottle of water on him, be on a wooden boat, right from Turkey, on a sea, and go to Italy? Do you think that they really want to do that? Over 2,000 people died. But it is not deterring people from still using that same route.
Because people die anyway.
You
So
can say that.
get there or die
But when
trying.
you know that this thing kills, you will surely pull yourself away from it. You understand me? So when we talk about the poverty line, that it is over there and all that, some people even do not do a lot of reading into traveling. So they just travel, thinking that, oh, the moment I land in this particular country, everything will be sorted out. There are stories today trending on Facebook about people who were promised accommodation. When they finally arrived, the person to host them is not picking their call.
Because there's no bilateral aid.
Come here,
Oh, but
make
you
it a
think
point.
when the bilateral thing happens,
we have moved away. We have moved away from
No, but
that.
we can still, plow back.
So you eventually these people go to adapt to the situation in Europe and in America. They are not finding the jobs. They are struggling where they are, and they are finding it very difficult to even eat.
What about the dignity thing?
Yeah, the dignity thing. That's the point. You would think that, oh, I would be better off somewhere, and eventually these people, because they do not even have a host, because they do not have somebody to accommodate them at least for a month, for them to find their feet, they find themselves doing very, very menial jobs that they wouldn't have done.
Apostle, that's why
on a regular
I have
day.
an issue with. At the end of the day, what is dignity? Because if you are an engineer and you have to go and flip burgers at Burger King or to whatever, and at the end of the day, you can remit for your child to go to a good school, where is the dignity we are fighting over? Isn't it just ego? Isn't it unnecessary ego?
It's dissatisfaction. I tell you what, there are people in jobs today who are doing it because they want to do it. And at a point, they just sit back and break down because they don't want to be there. And that dissatisfaction can even affect your work ethic sometimes. Because you see, your real love is for you to do nursing. Your real love is to be a doctor. Your real love is to be an IT expert. You get there, you are flipping burgers. It even affects your output, your productivity. You are there and you are always looking for the quickest way to get out. That is why we advise people, do what you love. Because you see, it's not just about earning the money. Working is not just, the fulfillment. That kind of fulfillment you get as an individual. When I'm working as an MC, I am happy. I'm getting paid for what I love doing. Who wouldn't want that? If Apostle is preaching, he is happy doing it because to him, he has taken up the call of God and he's doing it. So if he's in another nation, when he's supposed to be a pastor, pastoring a flock, and he's there flipping burgers, he's there thinking that, by this time, I'm going to throw 2 sermons. You get my point? So it's not only about there are people making millions of dollars. But they feel like, I'm not supposed to be doing this. She's in the IT area. You can talk to her about how people rush to do coding, they rush to the IT work, and now because of the time zones and because we are now exporting expertise, the guys are losing their mind because as late as 4 a.m. you are being called to solve an issue happening in America. So you will see that you are getting the money, but it probably is taking care of your health needs.
At least square one has been ticked. Is it, Apostle? All I'm saying is that at least square one has been ticked. Maybe your square two is your ego. We are not tickling your ego.
But it's not even about. It's not about ego.
Talk about ego.
According to Maslow, that's self-aggrandizing.
Yes. Okay, so the basics are being solved.
Yeah.
So to me, once the basics are solved, then we can talk about the next. But in Africa, the basics have not even been solved in the first place.
So the money is enough.
That you are right.
That is my problem.
You are right. I
so
agree.
so let everybody solve the basics. Then we can talk about the weightier matters. But for now, the basics are not. So if you have to go and drive a taxi to solve the basics, do it for now. Our forefathers worked 400 years for no pay anyway. So why not?
The slave masters went into a contract.
What we are saying is actually
I get
it's a 400-year kind of thing we are doing. Like it's the same thing now.
We are reliving the past.
We are reliving the past, and we are doing nothing to change it. That's my problem.
So you think that okay? So from what you're saying,
the basics should be covered, and that's it. Any other thing is ego.
Okay.
Yes.
And so people should be able to who want to
flip the burger for your kids to go to school. Any hear me? Not I want to be chinchina, wear a stethoscope on my neck.
I think so.
That packaging lifestyle now. We've told that if you are not a doctor, God hasn't blessed with that thing. Even some of the apostles, your people have to help us more. If you don't have a white wedding, you are not blessed. If you don't have a range over that kind of, it's making us lose our Pan-African.
I think everybody is different, and everybody sees things in a different way. So to somebody, it's about his ego and everything. To somebody, I just want to feed my family. People are traveling for different reasons. Okay, I know a friend who was a banker. He's a front desk person in the United States. He's happy because he's just getting his money. You understand? He's very happy, even though he was a banker in Ghana. He calls me in Chalako. I'm enjoying myself. I'm making $1 every time, every hour. I make my money. So everybody is different. So
and those people, most of the time, by the time they return to Ghana to come and live here, they are old. Because I know people who would go. I mean, there are people who they use their football age once they go to Europe.
Yeah.
They've crossed the age of
retirement. Yeah.
But they're still working. They'll work. By the time they come back, they have just a few more years to live on the earth because they've used all their ability, all their strength to work outside. Yeah. And so, at the end of the day, you ask yourself, what was the point of all this?
It comes back to the ego. Do you know why? Do you know why? Do you know why? When he got $30,000, he felt if he comes to Ghana, every burger is supposed to not take trotro. Every burger is supposed to wear a designer. Every burger is supposed to eat a burger. So you see, there's a certain expectation we've created for them that when they are coming, he has $30,000. So, but the society he has to come and impress. And I think we were having some conversation about packaging. That culture of packaging, where packaging in pidgin is like make believe. So with $30,000, you'll be fine, no. But as I'm coming, hey Charlie, I've been in US, Connecticut for 13 years or 25 years. When I come with 30 and I'm eating coffee broken, how my people think? My pastor even think that I'm cursed. So it comes back to the basics. Burger, you have come. Take trotro, you won't die. They take trotro anyway. Every 1 minute they are buying bus name. But when they come here, he has to take Uber. So my problem is that there's a certain expectation.
Kwame.
You said when he's 60 crab because of football. Maybe when he was 50, he wanted to come. But if I don't get my $30,000 and I come, the type of level Ghanaians have for a burger, I cannot fit it. So let me work more. That is it. What is wrong?
Let me tell you
that
something.
is what I think is
okay,
the
so
problem.
sometimes you may have a point. Now sometimes there are people who also have experienced a certain lifestyle in a different country where there is safety, there is guarantee, there is assurance. So when they
can get that in East Legon, Nana Krum.
You can't.
There's safety, there's guarantee.
But would they be in East Legon forever? You see,
that's where they came to reside.
You mentioned about buses. The bus system in America is not the same as the bus system in Ghana.
You can get decent.
The kind of cultural. Oh, come on. Let's be factual. You
see,
we are the people who are listening to us. They know that the situation is not the same. Okay. When you pick a bus,
I'm not saying it's the same.
When you pick a bus in Ghana, you can't even determine when you will get to your destination.
True.
Okay. True. Someone can park and say he will load for.
But Uber works. So he doesn't need to own a Range Rover to live in Ghana.
So I'm saying that the argument Apostle raised, or the point he was trying to point you to
about dignity.
No, not about dignity. About the fact that people would work for a very long time. There was an article about how people shouldn't build big homes if they are living abroad, because when they eventually return to the African nations, they are over 60, and some even 70. So even climbing upstairs becomes a problem.
Yes.
For them. There was an
so the article agrees with me, right?
They are saying that the people living there, they don't get to live their best life. They postpone it for later. And that later, they come back later, and they are too.
That's what I'm saying. So instead of 60, retire at 50 and count the 30,000. Don't wait for $300,000 to come and impress anybody in Ghana.
I believe that one of the reasons they wait is that I think there are some benefits that you get when you
Okay.
wait
If
until
then I hear is it German or is it the reason I was what I'm mentioning Bolaka, apparently the Russians and the Eastern Europe they form a cartel. Bolaka if you are black because the pension and the end of ASB
end of service
is so huge. So
it is
for
so
them.
you
If you are black, you will not get.
Okay.
So you see, my problem is that when other people go, they create opportunities for themselves. If ours is cleaning, if ours is even intercessory prayer, Ghana, we like to pray. We can even export it. Pastors, we have abundance. Let them go. No, maybe. So when they go and they are you said fulfillment.
Yeah.
So some people they can drive bolaka. We can take care of kids. We can do religious stuff. We if an imam goes and he's in a mosque, he won't feel underfulfilled. A Ghanaian all night we do here. So when he is there, he's still working to age 60. If he gets $30,000, he can come. And if he builds 2 bedrooms, nobody should judge him. It's the judgment that makes them know that let me first and get to 60 so I can come and live that expected life.
Okay. So for a young person who is probably watching, is contemplating, okay, looking at how things are going on around us, the systems are failing us, everything is expensive and so on. I'm thinking of going to Canada, I'm thinking of going to America. Don't you think that there are some other considerations that they must have in mind? Because for me, I'm thinking Bishop Carl says he was one of the speakers at a recently ended conference, and he was saying how currently it's as if the West is under judgment. Okay, and we see this through the LGBT, ABCD, whatnot that is going on. Okay, and it's looking like in a few years' time, God's wrath will be on full display in those countries. And so he was saying that he is rather preparing to move to Ghana because he's not only thinking of economic benefit, but he's looking at other things. So to a young person who is contemplating right now, should their only motivation be economic benefit, like we seem to be saying, and economic freedom, without looking at some of these other things? The fact that, you know, you are moving into a society that is culturally, that is morally bankrupt, that is looking like it is almost under the judgment of God. What do you guys think about that? You say you don't care.
Yes. Because some people are morally bankrupt in Ghana in their poverty anyway.
We don't care.
Or they're kiosmo or
they see it. You know, we get people in the house of God who actually migrate to those places, and it gets to be very difficult for them because they don't get to do the things, the church things that they would wish to do, and then over time they become stale and they move away. So we are young. The Bible says we should remember our God in the days of our youth, but we need the money. And money answers all things. It's also biblical. And the all things that we even want now are the basic things that there are things we are not supposed to struggle for.
Yeah.
We can tell you.
But do you understand my question?
Also, I understand.
Why are we going to
we should go to a place that is almost coming to an end.
Yes.
Rather than being
because
here.
Because of the moral values and the cultural
Don't forget, when the Europeans were coming to Africa, Africa was looking like hell.
Yeah,
no.
We are barely.
Yes,
but they came. You see, my problem, when it comes to practical decisions, I have a problem with Africans. When they were coming, there was malaria. They came to spread the gospel and they died. But Christ first. So which means is money first. If you go, don't go enjoy LGBT.
With the youth.
Apostle, for me,
yeah, practical decisions. That's my problem. Go there, don't go enjoy LGBT.
Yeah, basically,
I never said LGBT. I said LGTV.
I own a consultancy firm, like a traveling. So, and this is why I tell young people. A lot of people come to me, want to leave the country. Okay. And I always tell them there should always be a plan. You see, you don't just travel. You don't just travel. Because like Smart said, sometimes you get there and even your host, you pick up, you call the host, and he doesn't even pick up the phone. So there should be a plan. You see, you don't just leave the country. It should be a plan. So if you are 25, you are 30, you want to leave to Canada to work, you should have a plan. How many years are you going to work? And what are you, some go there, they work, and every year they bring something home. They start up something. Yeah. When you were in Lagos, when we went to UK, work, blah blah blah. We also said, I go there, I come, and I started my business here in Ghana. So I won't be there up to 6 years. For me, I don't like America. I don't like to live there because so many things goes on wrong in that country, and I don't want to live there. So I'll go and come. I have a plan. And that's why I tell the young people, you don't just travel to Canada or just go to America. Have a plan. What do you want to do for yourself? You can. I know Ghana is tough. Things are not really working, but you can set up your business. I was telling you something that, in this country, if you want to set up a business, you want to succeed. There's some business you don't have to do. Otherwise, your money, all the money you got to go down the drain. So for me, all the business I've set up, they are business where I won't say I don't need government interference. You need government of a sort. I want a transport business, for instance. I pay my insurance, I pay the roadworthy, I'm good to go. Nobody disturbs me. If you want to go into import and export, you have to go to Food and Drugs Board. You have to do this, pay bribe here. You see, so at the end, the kind of money that you have, you can't. So always sit down and have a plan. Exactly what you want to do. Don't invest into things where you need so much of government influence. Don't do things that you need a dollar, because the dollar will be the time the things arrive at the port, the dollar has changed. It will affect you. So anytime you have plan, so have a plan. I'm going to America, I'm going to Canada to work. Let me give myself about 5 to 10 years. This is what I want to do. I'll bring this money home. I want to set a laundry, and I want a laundry business as well. So I want to set that. That's what I did. So there's always a plan. So anytime they come to my office, I tell them, I'm a consultant, I'm a travel consultant. I'll advise you. Don't just leave Canada. So I'll tell you, I'll advise you, and you have a plan, so that you don't go and stay so much time there, 60, 70 years down, you're coming home, and you don't know what to do with yourself. So, and this time, the migration is between 25 to about 40 years. There's energy, there's strength. So you can work in America or Canada within 5-10 years. You can make some good money, come home and start up a business, and you are running.
My question remains unanswered.
So the economic, I think that the economic situation shouldn't be the only reason some people are traveling. There are a lot of things that you need to take a look at. If you listen to the comments that came from those who are living abroad, who were speaking to us about their conditions over there. I have a very good friend of mine who is a civil engineer in the UK, and he was telling me about his routine, and I was worried for him personally, because for me his mental health was at stake. He said he leaves home, goes to work, leave work, come home. The only thing he does, because he's not married now, the only thing he does is go to the gym, which is even downstairs of the apartment. Yes, so he's even in the same building. He's not going too far, and you don't really have the privilege like that social life. Like in Ghana, I can just pick up my phone and say, Charlie Kwame, let's meet here. Maybe you are calling into Kwame's time where he's going to his second job, and he's like, Charlie bro, I can't meet up, and all these things. So you realize that you are all alone. I think one of the ladies mentioned it, that nobody talks to you about you being alone, you not having family and all that. You must understand that you don't just have to live your life by default. There should be a design.
But
like
there's always a price to pay for everything.
Oh no, no. We are not saying that. We are not saying that it is bad. But you see, as human beings, there are a lot of external factors that we need for our complete well-being. It is not just an individual thing. For a complete well-being, it goes beyond just you as a person. You can be a fine gentleman, good at your profession and everything, but your working environment can have an effect on you. Okay? Even your social circle can have an effect on you. All other things can damage you as a person. So you must have a holistic approach towards life. It shouldn't just be about, oh, so long as I'm getting the money, I am fine. A lot of people get the money, but they are not fine.
They gain the whole world
and they lose their souls.
So that's what I'm getting to, because and I like the way you've put it. So when we talk about greener pastures or people having well-being, it should be total well-being. So financial freedom, social.
I think the Bible says that I wish above all things that you may prosper and be
in health.
Yes, good health.
Even as your soul
prospers. So it shouldn't be just.
So it should be all around. So my question remains that if you're going into a climate that spiritually and morally is some way, is it really worth it? Shouldn't we rather encourage young people to maybe they can visit outside and they can visit, but not leave the country So let me where we go, maybe we can go and do some gigs outside, and then we return home to fix our continent.
Why are you laughing? Now why are you laughing? Now why are you laughing? No, do you want to fix the continent?
Yes, I fix the continent. So
now you've got him in his own track. Do you want to fix the continent? Yes. So we should go and come back. when we go into the slavery contract.
And,
We should go
then we come back and unable
it's
to
about
fix.
the options.
We should always come back.
So I think that would be a better arrangement where we are going out for gigs, but we come back to stay in our country and fix our country. Because the alternative is we are going to someone's country. We may be getting paid all right, we may be getting all the money, but the moral bankruptcy, the spiritual bankruptcy. When I was in university, I did my first degree in the UK. I met a number of Ghanaians and Nigerians who were very, very audacious. They were on fire when they were leaving their country. But after 1 year on campus, they saw that, Charlie, there is freedom here. These people, as I'm speaking to you today, many of them have lost their faith. Many of them have backslidden altogether. So my question is it really worth it?
It's the money.
Right?
Shouldn't we rather pursue
that one of the let me see one of the issues we have, I think you mentioned it about Rwanda. For most people who are in Africa, the issues are glaring. So they look to spirituality as a way of escape. For most people. When they travel out, they begin to realize that the things we used to pray about in a different country,
so easily accessible.
we don't need to pray about it in this country.
Jesus doesn't fix roads.
So some way, somehow, some people begin to lose faith because they now begin to see that
the facade,
good leadership can fix certain things that we pray about in Africa.
Yes.
It is clear that now they feel like, so then why go to church and pray about this, about that?
Yes.
So they gradually begin to lose it. Also forgetting that as a human being, like the wellness I spoke about, you need some spiritual connection as a person.
Yes.
Okay, regardless of what you do. So people can choose whichever path that they want to choose. But you cannot just be walking in the world as I'm making money, I'm okay, I have good system, I have good family, I'm okay. You must also submit yourself to a spiritual guide. But some of them, because now poverty was just a religious thing that pushed them into going to the church. Now they are not seeing the poverty anymore. So they do not think they need God in their minds. So they fall into this social circle, and now they are basing their lives on theories, concepts, philosophies, and all that. They have no connection with the Bible. And I'm glad you even mentioned it, that when you got to Rwanda, you realized that, hey, the system is working. So it was difficult to relate a certain issue to a particular broken system so that God can fix the issue. So we should also look at it that, yes, are your morals strong? Are your values strong? Are your principles strong? Because we have seen videos of Ghanaians who traveled and now they have joined the alphabet community or whatever that it is. Okay, so then you get to realize that, okay, they got there and they thought that it was normal. So it is that normal mindset that has pushed them into breaking their values and breaking their morals. So it is not always that some people they are backslided. We may see it as they are backslided, but they feel like, no, I don't need to pray about this particular thing. When I turn my eyes, I see it over there. It is working. Okay. So sometimes it's not always about the people have backslidden. Because when we say you are backsliding, it means that gradually you are losing the character of Christ. It means that there is nothing pricking your mindset anymore. You are free to do some of these things that you would have frowned upon if you were in the country. And the cultural shock you would get when you get to Europe, we don't kiss in public. We don't kiss in public.
So you don't need to buy pizza to get a girl.
Aha!
Top pizza.
You know?
Uber.
So then you are like,
So Asoma. Ojo.
So before we are going to open the phone line, but you said you are into travel and talk. So maybe you have like 1 minute. So if somebody, after hearing all that we've said, still is deciding that, you know what, I'm going to travel no matter what you say. I'm going to go outside. So tell us a bit about your business and how you can help those who want to travel.
Okay, so how do I start? So
at least the name of the
so the name is Coben Consult.
It's called what?
Coben Consult.
Coben.
K-O-B-E and Coben Consult. We are located at the Denta. Yeah, so we are into ticketing, visas and all that. So I do the UK, the Canada, US, and all, South Africa and all that. So, like Apostle said, if you want to travel, you come to us. We can always help you the right way, because these days there are a lot of people out there trying to do the young people because they know the demand is very high and they're taking advantage of the whole situation. Yeah, so with us, when you come, we'll talk to you, find out exactly what you want to do, where you want to go. Then we can advise you, because like I said, there should always be a plan. I had a plan before I left the country, and I keep going and coming. So there should be a plan. You don't just go and get yourself stranded and all that. So if you come, we'll advise you, we'll help you with the visa.
So you can help all of us to get Canadian visa.
Absolutely.
I know Kwame there, he has already
Canada, you have sold yourself.
So your office is located at
Adenta, yeah.
Okay, and you help with Canadian visa, American visa,
ticketing and all that.
Okay,
we do passports, we do birth certificates. Yeah, everything.
Do you have social media?
You have a social media page?
So we have Coben Consult on Instagram. We have
Coben Consult.
Yeah.
So I think we'll leave his details in the comment section.
And then Apostle, I'd like to also add a thing or two.
So let me open the phone line too while we're waiting.
Okay.
All right. So you can get interactive with us. I've seen that many comments are coming in already. Get interactive with us. You can call us right now. The number is 0207-10,001. 0207-10,001. Let us know what you think about this discussion. Greener pastures or a trap? Youth migration. All right. So let me read just a few comments, and then we'll pick the phone calls. This was this person, Adwa from Takwa, says, Kwame, this adoption, if we don't change our mindsets, even monies these adopted youth will bring in will still be mismanaged and will be wow. Francis from Offenso says, I just turned my TV on and I couldn't join you from the beginning, but I like the way Brother Kwame speaks. I have missed your program for 2 weeks and I want to get to watch them. God be with you. Ebenezer from Pig Farm, he says, Mr. Smart, the economy of Kwewu gets better when its indigents return, because business out there tends to do well.
He's talking about seasonal growth. So the people come during the Easter, so the business goes well. And after the Easter, then what next? That's my only worry. So I feel like, yes, it's going to help. So the people, Jakpa, they come back, they have built, and during the Easter festivities, there is paragliding, there is tourism and all that. They benefit in a week or two.
Okay, we have our first caller on the line. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from, please.
Okay, so my name is Adam Kanton.
Your name is?
Yes, and I'm calling from Winnipeg.
Okay, please speak up. Guys, increase the volume so that I can hear. Okay, talk to us.
Okay, so I think in all the points that you mentioned, they were very salient, but unfortunately you left one thing out. You know, there's something about financial literacy, you know, and being financially, sound. You know, you should be able to make good financial decisions in everything you do. Be it whether you're in the country, whether you've gone out. I think you should be able to manage whatever comes into your hands very well. You know, be it big or small, you can always pray to God to give you the wisdom to multiply whatever you have. Yes, so like our brother said, he goes out and comes in every now and then, but fortunately he has invested in businesses here which are raking him income every day or every month. So whether he goes, but if he should not go in anymore, he will still be able to stay afloat or even above. Do you understand? So I think people should not forget that financial literacy is a very important aspect of our social life. You know, money is not everything, but it actually affects everything. Yes, so that is one point I'd like to. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Very powerful. So keep your calls coming. 0207-10,001. 0207-10,001. Let's know what you think about this discussion. Green pastures or trap? Youth migration.
The session and go again. So
I think. Okay. I wanted to add a thing or two. I think also that once we decide to travel, we should put a lot of research into it. When people are traveling for education, they want scholarship and all that. They research what courses have those scholarships available.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So yes, please. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from.
I'm David.
Your name is?
About what you're saying.
I didn't hear you.
For one thing I've seen about the use of organizations, it's not pursuing purpose, they are pursuing money. That's why you think traveling outside will make it.
Please speak
so
up.
everybody,
Please speak up. We can't hear you.
Effort is to travel out. I have a friend who I was speaking with yesterday who is in an Islamic country. And they have been working throughout the day, tired, and they get to a time like she used to cook in the house. They said they don't like the sun and she should stop cooking, blah blah blah, reporting it to her friends. A whole lot of stress, but we went there because of 2,500 a month. And people are advising her to find some people to go to try see the kitchen to offer sacrifices when I did that. And it's pathetic, but as I said, I see the use of our days as our looking at the someone, no purpose in life. And this thing will continue. God will help us. Bye.
Okay. So, Mr. Ruben, please help us with our sound. Help us to hear it. But observing, did you hear what he said?
Yes. He said the youth of today we chase after money rather than purpose. And then he gave the instance of his friend working tirelessly and getting frustrated and all that, all because of this advertisement.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So keep your calls coming 0207-10,001.
But I was saying something.
Yeah, about research and getting the right information.
Getting the right job. We should look for the job availability so that it will also help, because people are just interested in bringing the money for people to help them travel and not what will happen after the travel.
Precisely.
So I think we should also put time in looking at availability of jobs, what will suit what you can do, what you cannot do, and then gear towards it whilst we're prepared.
I also want to please do you also pray for people to get visa?
Not at all.
So what I've been hearing
that the consultants pray for them.
No, like some people do. So whom we are saying.
But you know, now spiritual issues are real.
Spiritual if your banking statement is correct, everything they'll deny it.
Spiritual issues are real. Kwame, there are families that the whole family has traveled. They have been trying everything possible to bring the last person. It never works.
And everything was correct.
I'm telling you.
Expert, please.
Let me see, sometimes when somebody gives an invitation, you will refuse a visa. You don't know why. Because when the person went there, he overstayed. There are so many reasons why they refuse a visa. So we also, because I have a friend in the US, on my invitation 10 times, they refuse you 10 times. Because when after Legon, after university, when he went there, he overstayed. Such a person, you are in the system. So they will never, if you invite.
So that one is not big.
No.
So that is there. But
that doesn't negate.
But I want people to be diligent with their documentation. Their BAB is becoming
very
too much
key.
in our opinion.
Very key. Getting your bank statements right, your 6 months, 3 months, whatever that is being requested is key.
So call us 0207-10,000.
And we hear me, because some pastors are getting too much.
Let's do the right thing. Then you pray. Prayer, you can.
I need you to explain.
They work hand in hand. It's like in Ghana, in cycle. Every year, we die out of flood.
Yeah.
Let's fix the problem there. Every year we'll die.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this is not prophecy, but it's a problem there. So fix it. So you balance the equation. Whilst you're doing the physical aspect, then you pray about it. Then both of them come together.
So smart. The one you're talking about, everything was correct.
Everything is correct.
Nobody overstayed.
Just about an hour ago, I was watching a sermon by Archbishop Duncan Williams, where he made an example in church with Bishop James Sarr. He dealt with an issue until date. The gentleman is in the country. The guy is called Thomas. He's from the Church of Pentecost.
Travel.
Yes, he left Ghana, got to how do you call it, Heathrow, no JFK, and the immigration officer asked him, "Are you sure you are the one in the passport?" And he said, "Yes, of course." When they turned the passport to him, it was his grandmother.
His grandmother's passport.
Picture with his name Thomas.
Okay.
And he was sent back
Okay.
So these issues exist.
That is after he has done all his paperwork.
Yes, I'm
so
telling
if you do your paperwork and they turn your face to grandma, that's by paper now on your grandma. That's
those are the spiritual issues we are talking about.
But do the paperwork.
You must do the paperwork.
The
Yes. You must do the paperwork.
Okay.
Last year at around October, I was leaving for South Africa. So when we were at the visa center, we were 10 entrepreneurs in Ghana going for a program in South Africa. All our documentation were the same. The hotel we were lodging, the program we were doing, how long we were going to be in South Africa. So we were supposed to be there for 28 days. Only one person was denied. Only one person. Every single person on the team was given a visa. They asked her to wait and apply 2 weeks later because the team was waiting to book our flights. This girl waited, applied again. 2 weeks later, she was denied again.
And what was the reason?
Smart.
They have to give you a reason, and that's why your co explains.
You see? So in the first I'm coming. Oh, coming. In the first letter, they ticked no bank statements. Okay. Out of the 10, I'm coming. No bank statement.
Orange flag.
Out of the 10, no one submitted a bank statement. Okay, because the invitational letter stated that every single thing from ticketing to hotel, food was being taken care of by the South African company. The second time, they didn't give any reason. They didn't give any reason. So I'm saying that we shouldn't look at things like, oh, I don't think not everything really is spiritual, but spiritual issues play a role in everything. Okay, not everything is spiritual, but spiritual things play a role in everything that we do.
No, you see,
so don't just look at it like
what Kwame is trying to say is that sometimes, see, especially in Ghana, we believe that everything is a spiritual thing. Every good thing that happens in Ghana.
You are supposed to work. You know, for us, we have to provide our company business certificate. They need to know that whether the business is registered in Ghana. You had to submit a letter from your company that you were representing. Me, it was my company.
So, Apostle, you realize that the grandmother issue, it will be 1 out of 1,000.
But
precisely. But when you don't do that right, it's going to be 300 people out of 1,000, and they'll say. It's like
I know
it's like God is not powerful because we are not diligent. It's as if God is not powerful.
We must be diligent.
Very.
Yes, we must be diligent.
Everything prayer. I have not even written his real name correctly.
The sad thing is that even here in Ghana, Christians, especially with a good Christian, then
everything should work freely for you.
It's like some soft life, some poverty life, as if you are not supposed to break through. I don't know.
Yeah, blessed are the poor.
We need to work.
That's great.
Yeah, we need to do the right thing. I mean, yeah.
So, and what are your rates like?
So for Canada,
when you mention a figure here, or we should come to the office.
Apostle, do you need like his professional rates or the?
Oh, you were saying that what are his rates like?
Yeah, we have family and friends rates. We have
okay.
Yeah. So for
professional.
It could be $7,000.
Okay.
For Canada.
Okay.
For the US, I could take like $10,000.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
And visitors visa.
Yes, for visitor visa.
Visitors.
Yes.
And yes,
so all the people who are flooding the country,
they have actually accumulated that kind of money.
They have no money.
Not all of them. Some of them actually have scholarships.
Yes. Some are
so
students.
I have friends of mine who left last year, and I have friends who even left last week. They left on the Chevening scholarship, which is for UK, and which one that you're going to be there for just a year. You are made to understand that because they pay accommodation, they give you food, and at the end of the month they give you a stipend and all that. So there are ones who are getting certain things, and also like Kwame was saying, some people just see, or I think it was Lucy, they see the scholarship,
they process it. Yeah.
Some of the scholarships don't come with accommodation. Some don't come with stipends, and mostly they give stipends to the people who are research assistants because they are working under a professor. So the professor takes something out of his yearly budget to give to you coming to assist him in teaching the student. So reading is key, researching is key, and like a convention, that's why you need to speak to a professional. Because when you come to him, he's going to look at your documents and tell you that this thing is not here, that thing is not here. So how do you intend to put yourself together when you finally arrive. Because there are people who are still stranded at the airport.
Oh, yes.
And they don't know how to, navigate their way.
True.
Some people also beckon on friends, speak to somebody who can host me for a month, and they are doing it. Yeah. After a month, the person comes and he says that, hey, you said a month, you need to go, and you must be honest. And we begin to think that these people are wicked people. And like Kwame said, as Christians, we must be diligent. Don't promise somebody and say, oh, I will only stay with you for 3 weeks. Then after 3 weeks, when the person says you need to pack out, then you begin
Ghana is not 70% Christian from what you are saying.
That what?
I think
No, I think it just has to
it's just on paper.
So let me. So I'll pick just one last call. 0207 10,001. 0207 10,001. If you're in Ghana, it's 0207 10,001. If you're outside, it's plus 233 207 10,001. But hey, $7,000.
Yeah, some even pay more.
I think. What about those who do the dependency for the UK travels? The ones that go and somebody needs someone who to show off like they are married to them, or someone to be their daughter.
They still pay a lot of money.
They still pay. Yeah.
They do pay a lot of money. People pay like 10,000, 15,000.
Yeah. I'm always worried because they do not do a lot of reading into it. Some people have been complaining bitterly that you work under someone's name.
Hey, but you guys are talking about the normal protocol. What about white women who want black guys to marry? Do you have such? You see, practical. You see, practical things. So, before we are long go, there are white people abroad who are nashing. This boy is getting show.
Then be a Rasta man and go to the beach.
Why not? So, Pastor, they like the Rasta man. I wonder why.
It's because of a culture, maybe.
Maybe to certain herbal consideration.
Like
Bibi Drono.
Lucy needs to come to comment also. Her passport is hanging in there. Comment also can bring it out.
You said you are still waiting. So we are not believer of the system.
We have cases like that.
Lucy believes in the system.
Yes.
So there are people who can listen to you, know where you apply, and they help you out in a week.
Oh, but you don't have white women who want. Oh no, I'm serious. You don't. Not like on an informal. Maybe there's a WhatsApp platform.
It's like you have a personal interest.
Tell him we have.
I have friends who have gone abroad. They didn't go research assistant. Nothing.
There are hookup apps.
That one is for like.
No, you can sign up and you can get what you're asking for.
No, hookup is something.
But are you looking to marry a white person?
No, it's another way of going abroad. That's what I meant.
Goes abroad.
Yeah, by marital aid, true or false?
So I think, in summary, what we've been saying today is that I think it's neither here nor there. People can go outside and it will be to their benefit. Okay, and people can stay in the country and things will work out for them here as well. Yeah,
I think there is systemic failure too.
So systemic failure too is hard. Okay, so we've stated the obvious that there are problems on the continent and all that, and so we are encouraging people instead of deciding to go and live outside, perhaps they should consider maybe going to do gigs outside and come back to help fix
the continent.
Help fix the continent.
The continent.
And we've also said that the government could explore options like what the Philippines,
even the Cuba,
the modern slavery.
So the modern slave trade,
quote unquote.
Yeah, and
we did it 400 years for free.
We don't like the word slavery.
They are teasing you. We did it 400 years for free anyway.
We don't like the slavery
word. Here's the point. We have
we did it 400 years.
Yes,
slavery. And people who also do the belts.
I mean, slavery.
Use the word slavery too.
It's the slavery word you are
using. Even the bilateral people you want us to work with, the moment you bring the slavery in, they will cancel it.
But they are enslaving.
No, but.
Okay. So modern day boy.
Modern day
the export of human resource.
Yeah.
But they're brought for things any economy.
And we should consider certain factors when we are traveling outside. We should look at the fact that there's poverty outside as well. We shouldn't be ashamed of the kinds of jobs that are available as long as
it's paid.
It's able to pay us and we are able to feed the family.
And also what the caller said, financial literacy.
You
can be working there and still not manage your finances.
Wow. Very good point. So you can get the money there, but if you don't have financial literacy, it will be cost 90. And I think the last thing you mentioned,
you can marry a white woman.
And also, if you really want to travel, speak to
Professional.
Speak to a professional. So, and we have a professional in our midst. Coben.
Consult.
Coben.
0244 538 550.
Okay, mention it.
0244 538 550.
For the last time.
0244 538 550.
All right. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure having having you guys. Mr. Slave. So,
I like that. It's KB the MC. KB the MC. KB the MC on Instagram.
Right.
If you have an event, call me.
Right.
Yeah, baby, be a come.
Okay, KB
No
the
slavery.
Or you don't want to go and do weddings in America.
KB the MC. We have Lucy. Lucy, do you also have a nickname or
No,
a social
I
media?
don't.
Okay.
Environmentalist.
Okay. And then the observing journalist.
Yeah.
Your social media handle.
Oh, it's Smart Kitchen Nixon on every social media platform.
Smart Takey Nixon. All right. So thank you for joining us. God willing, we'll see you same time next week on To Be Frank. Have a very nice day. Bye bye.
The callings were.
Yeah.
What you guys go through every time? This is the first time on this thing.
Yeah.